各位你好，我都好開心今日可以嚟到呢度同你討論下，同講下少少Biennale 啲 background。我自己都係香港人啦，咁都同你哋我諗都好多嘢都可以 share some ideas. For the English audience and Chinese audience, I will actually speak back and forth in Cantonese and English, so hopefully that's okay. A little bit of a background. I'm actually trained as an architect. I'm also an educator. I teach at the university here in Hong Kong. I also teach in the summers in New York City at Columbia University in the Graduate Design School. I'm heavily involved in a lot of different organizations promoting culture, design, and I will have to say I'm also quite confused, similar to all of you all here maybe. But just to give a bit of a background, today I'll be sharing a few case studies of projects we've done to activate change, and also various really interesting architectural installations right now on the West Kowloon Waterfront promenade. I am in this situation where, similar to maybe Sabrina, thinking about the value of design. Design itself I see as a way to activate certain discussions, as a platform. And I see myself operating in different ways, design education, advocate, design activist, an architect. I also love design. I'm actually constantly inspired by my own students and also constantly inspired by the city we live in. And I wrote a few things just now, just thinking about how to actually begin the discussion. Aspirations, localization, motivations, inspiration, challenges, and the issue of globalization is current themes that we operate within that have and add value to our society and social kind of influence and responsibility as designers. Another few things, besides being a partner with Eric Schoenfrei, my design partner in eskyiu. Eskyiu means to sound like eskyiu, to change, to pervert. But I'm also actively involved in, as a board member of the Ambassador of Design in Hong Kong, which is a nonprofit organization also promoting and activating discussions around the design culture. So with this as a background, I want to keep this quite casual, and because I often spend 7 days a week running around recently, this morning in the West Kowloon, we had a big community design event. And we had 2,000 elderlies eating and celebrating Pun Choi Yin, like a big Pun Choi fest. So that was something we were activating the site with today. Some issues in terms of the social value of design, I always think about it in a way to make us rethink how we think about cities. Even as you are sitting here in the auditorium, why is your seat designed this way? Or why are you all sitting there looking at myself standing here? It really creates a different relationship. If I was to sit in the auditorium and have a conversation with you right now, it would have completely changed the social dynamic and create a very different way of interaction. And this is something we're really interested in exploring in our own practice, but also in the larger projects we're operating within today. Nutritious is an installation we did back in London at the Architecture Association, where I was also teaching, and we collaborated with a series of 12 students and called this project Nutritious. But thinking about nutrition and the value of food mileage and the environment itself, we actually produced and created this project called the aeroponic facade. In a way, it's so delicious and so healthy that we actually were able to grow our own vegetables like bak choy, choy sam. And at the opening, because it was London, it was site-specific. We actually grew strawberries also. These are the sort of ways of experimentation that we hope to try, and without trying, you actually don't learn, and without raising questions, one actually can't begin to challenge the norm. And this is something it's very difficult to do, is to always rethink how we use and how we actually reuse our resources. Okay? Urban Pastoral began then as a natural extension to Nutritious, a project that we were selected to represent Hong Kong at the Venice Biennale. And Urban Pastoral is extremely interesting as a concept for how we live in Hong Kong, how we inhabit our environment. I'm sure 可能我可以問你哋個個其實係咪喺香港嚟嘅依家？都係香港人係咪啊？舉手。OK，咁其實你哋知唔知我哋香港 actually 係about 7 million inhabitants, right？大部分我哋都係住喺城市入邊。We actually mostly live in a dense urban city, right? So in this situation, it causes certain ways of looking at our land, right? And in Hong Kong, this is a very interesting map, the land utilization of Hong Kong, which actually shows the percentage, actually we think, is built environment. Most people think, oh, Hong Kong is so dense. It's so concrete, right? But in actuality, 70 to 75% is green, right? So the countryside and the relationship with the urban fabric is really, really powerful. But at some time, in this kind of pie chart, or governmental pie chart, it's 23.4% is built environment. So as a statistic, it's very shocking, right? But when we look at it, say, pulling back in the aerial view from a Google standpoint, you actually begin to see the pattern and the systems of urbanization that show the conditions of urban environment and the countryside or farmland or agriculture. So what we were trying to think about is how to integrate, right? So if Sabrina was talking about integration in terms of multidisciplines, in our sense, we're thinking about sort of design integration, both with the environment and with the built form. And it's quite amazing, this proposition to say, well, could we change the way we eat, the way we live, by directly fabricating an urban pastoral? And so we tested and experimented with the idea of a hanging garden. 咁例如我哋自己日日都係出街去超級市場食嘢，咁其實係咪可以屋企自己種嘢食咧？咁我哋就做咗呢個 project 喺威尼斯個 Venice Biennale exhibited last year. And what was really, really exciting was the material is working with a manufacturer called 3Form based in America and China. And we used the eco resin, a new product that is made out of recycled HDB bottle. And we used a collaboration model working with farmers, agricultural experts, and also design advocates, and created this vertical landscape. So this is in Venice, so we dealt with contextual plants, which were all produced for food, so salad, like Lola Rosa, Italian vegetables. And then when we brought it back to Hong Kong, we actually used a different kind of system to green that vertical landscape. We were very happy that we were able to use design as a way to activate community and participation. And when we came back, we showed the project in various places in Hong Kong and Kowloon, including a dreamy aspiration to green the whole of HSBC Bank in Central. We have another aspiration to green all the vertical walls of housing projects and housing authority projects, and another linear landscape project that is greening the entire highway. So imagine driving in a car and being able to, when you're on the bus commuting from your school to home, or even maybe the mass transit network, imagine the whole network of Hong Kong becoming potentially and environmentally kind of green in one sense. Another thing that's interesting is the issue of the design culture for a community. And what does this actually mean? There's a project, I worked again with students at the Hong Kong University, and also exploring issues of renewal and development. And again, the empowerment of design really can make us rethink the position of you as a designer and the value of the community you live in.